An exclusive follow-up to a story NBC 12 was the first to break.
You'll remember back in July when a Publix customer was accused of nearly running over a teenage employee after workers say she refused to let him bag her groceries because he's black. A magistrate has ruled she will not be charged with the crime, even though the Commonwealth's attorney believes she should have been.
Tonight, the teen's mother is speaking out only to our Brent Solomon, who is joining us now. Brent, what is her reaction to this outcome?
Simone Kurt, that mother is visibly frustrated. She said to me tonight, how do you explain this to a 16-year-old? New tonight, only NBC 12 has a first look at the surveillance video from what happened in and outside of that Publix. I got my hands on surveillance video from July inside the Publix from Henrico's White Oak Village. It shows the 83-year-old woman who was at the center of the investigation. As her groceries are about to be bagged, the nonverbal customer communicates to store employees.
She spoke via sign language and and then, of course, wrote a note in kind of broken terms.
Workers claim she didn't want the 16-year-old to bag her groceries because he's black. Managers are called to step in. The teenager then walks outside to collect shopping carts. Moments later, the same woman gets in her car and is now seen on video inching up very close to the teenager.
This young man stops at the stop bar because we know from his perspective, he feels like he's got that kind of sixth sense presence, like someone's behind me. He turns around, he sees it's the same woman who, at the very least, he knows had pointed at him and said, didn't want him touching her stuff.
That's when he stops walking.
He was going to take a picture of her license tag, but then she kind of scoots away from him.
Police investigated, and Commonwealth's attorney Shannon Taylor felt a misdemeanor charge of reckless driving was appropriate. But since that's a minor traffic violation, the case went to a magistrate who ruled there was no need to charge her.
Part of me feels like we let this young man down.
Authorities tell me when they questioned that woman, she said she did not want the teen to bag her groceries because she didn't see him use any hand sanitizer. She also says she never intended to run him over. The incident led to protests outside the store the very next day. It's taken more than 2 months to close the case.
If the tables were turned and my child wasn't a black child, it wouldn't have been an issue. They would have did everything they needed to do and put forth the extra effort, some type of justice.
We're not identifying the teen's mother to protect her son. She says now he's in counseling as a result of this situation.
Not really one to talk, being withdrawn. We had to have the blunt conversation of, color. I've never taught my kids to say, hey, you're different because you're black or you're different because you're white. Once again, this lady is free, can say and do whatever she wants, and it's no big deal. My child is the one that has to deal with it.
That teen is still employed at the grocery store. I'm told he's one of their best employees. Taylor says Henrico's new police chief wrote a letter to the DMV requesting to have that 83-year-old woman's license revoked due to questions over whether she's fit to drive. On your side, Brent Solomon, NBC 12.
All right, Brent, thank you. Right now at